FIBA World. The NBA season begins tomorrow, and I'm glad we can experience this together. You know we're gonna be reacting to key games, big performances. If you didn't know, I just told you. Surprise! Let's get into this video. I know what you're here for. Okay, guys, so not only is the league back in action tomorrow, but we are making money starting tomorrow. I personally love to sports bet on NBA. It's my best sport, and this article I saw on NBA.com is very important. One key fact about every NBA's team schedule. I did the reading for you guys so you don't have to, and I have the top 5 team schedules that should make us some green. We're gonna start off with the Boston Celtics. The Celtics have a league high 16 rest advantage games, including 7 against the other 7 Eastern Conference teams that made the playoffs last season. None against Milwaukee, but 2 against Atlanta. They have 2 more rest disadvantage games, 11, than the league average, but are still one of 4 teams with a league high differential of +5. We know the Celtics are a powerhouse in the East, so to see this, them having 16 rest advantage games, that is great. That means their opponents will be on the second leg of a back-to-back while they're fresh. And with their team, as long as they stay healthy, we know what kind of threat they will be, especially when they're playing on their home court in the Garden. I really like the Celtics for these 16 games. And depending on the matchup, it's a must-take. Of course, with a lot of these games, it's probably going to be minus money, but it's smart money. And potentially some of these games will fall in line with each other, and we can combine them to even out our bets. Next up, right below them, we have the Brooklyn Nets. The Nets have the most home-heavy first 6 weeks of the season, with 12 of their 19 games at Barclays Center. Let me zoom in for you guys, just in case you want to read along with me. How's that looking? After a 4-game trip in games 2 to 5, they'll play 11 of their next 14 at home. A stretch that begins with a fun 3-game homestand. Visits from the Celtics, Bucks, and Clippers. Don't know how that's fun. They'll pay for it in March when they have a stretch where they're playing 10 of 11 on the road. This right here is key right here. This is why I put the Nets on this list. They're gonna have 10 of 11 on the road in March. Hopefully the team is healthy. I'm always wishing for teams to be in peak form, especially towards the end of the season. I want the best players to play. I want the best lineups to play. But look, we do know in March, people do be banged up. And depending on what the Nets are looking like at this time in March, these 10 games on the road, they might be prime opportunities for us to make some bread. Next up, we have the Milwaukee Bucks. We talked about the Celtics, who I project to be number 2 in the East, behind the Milwaukee Bucks. The Bucks have the easiest stretch of games when you take last season's stats, location, and rest into account. It's a 6-game homestand coming out of week 7, the week of the in-season tournament knockout rounds and filling games. From December 11th to 21st, they'll host the Bulls, Pacers, Rockets, Pistons, Spurs, and Magic. Who are they losing to in those games? That's all that matters here. Forget the other, forget this. All that matters are these matchups. We know they're gonna be minus money. We know the Bucks are gonna be the favorites. But we know that there's a high probability that they're not losing any of these games. Next up, we have the Portland Trail Blazers. The Blazers are the only team with multiple road trips of at least 7 games. That's wild. They have a 12-day 7-game trip from January 1st to 12th and a 14 7-game trip from March 25th to April 7th. Both of these are later in the season, but the Blazers are also tied with Washington for the most road-heavy schedule. 12 of 19 on the road in the first 6 weeks. This is big. This is a Blazers team that, DeAndre Ayton is their best player. And I'm not talking down on Ayton. I was okay with him being the center on my Suns, helping KD make it to the finals this season. But at the end of the day, is he really that guy? We will see. And we will see on these road games. Depending on who they're facing, it's looking like a lose streak. 14-day, 7-game trip? Come on. I'm taking those. And I'm running with them. 12 of 19 on the road in the first 6 weeks, easily under 500. What do you guys project Portland to be? I project them to be a bottom 3 team in the West. And last but not least, this is what I like the most. The Orlando Magic. The Magic were 1 for 12 in the second games of back-to-backs last season, with no advantage or disadvantage. The worst such mark for any team in the last 6 years. They're also one of the 3 teams, the Rockets and the Lakers are the others, with 5 more rest disadvantage games, league high 13. Then the rest advantage games, 8 this season. 6 of those 8 rest advantage games are against the West, and 3 of them are in the first 14 days of the season. See, I like this because I don't think that the Magic got that much better from last season. Yeah, you know, their young players have developed, but in totality, when you stack them up against other teams, did they make any super huge moves? No. Is Paolo leaps and bounds better than last season? He played this summer in the World Cup, and he showed out here and there. But I don't know. If they were 1 and 12 in back-to-backs, and this year they have 13 rest disadvantage games, those are prime games to take advantage of. The Orlando Magic, they're gonna make us some bread if we can stay disciplined and rock with these 13 games. I see at least 10 out of the 13. And this is depending on who they're playing. But I see at least, not even knowing who they're playing, I see them losing at least 10. Spy World, that's wraps in today's video. I would love to hear what you guys think. Let me know where you feel like you're gonna make the most money, because I would love to win with you. I would love to win together. If you made this far, please hit that like button. Please hit that sub button. Tap in the NBA Wrapped. Watch highlights with us. This season is gonna be epic. Let's do it.